Hi guys, so I'm just going to record the antibiotic resistant brain pop activity just in case someone's is not working and also to help you to go through it. Okay, so here we have the game and we're going to click on play game. Let me try to zoom in a tiny bit here so you can see this better. And here we have a gang of kids here. It says, look at that bacteria. Look at that pizza. It's got bacteria growing on it. Max has cooties. Let's wash the whole yard and then we will never get sick. Bacteria is evil. Wait, no, there are tons of helpful bacteria and some harmful ones. If we wash all the bacteria away, we could kill all the good bacteria too. Ooh, good cooties? We are actually all covered in bacteria. We were fine before you knew about it. So just think about them as your little helpers. So here we have in blue a bacteria that is the least resistant, meaning it's the easiest to kill using an antibiotic. And then mutations will randomly happen that will make them more resistant or harder to kill. And so that's in this kind of light brownish red color. And if they mutate again, or sometimes just even from this one that can mutate, can have a really strong resistance, meaning they're super hard to kill with antibiotics. Okay, so we're going to learn a little bit more here. But antibiotics can kill the bad bacteria, right? Well, most of the time. But sometimes the mutated bacteria pass on antibiotic resistance, which means they're harder to kill. Uh-oh. That's why doctors are trained to give specific antibiotics to fight different bacteria, and why you should finish taking your antibiotics even if you feel better. Antibiotics kill the weaker bacteria really fast, but the stronger ones can survive and live longer and keep reproducing. Yikes, supervillain bacteria. Actually, yes, doctors call them superbugs. To get rid of different bacteria, you would need to give mega strong antibiotics that could make you really sick. Check this out and see what happens when you start dosing with antibiotics. So we're going to run this a few times. This first time you can see the bacteria and the mutation occurs right away, and we see the super resistant mutation occur right away. And so when I click dose antibiotics and give antibiotics to this person, you're going to see that the blue ones and kind of the lighter brown ones will disappear more so than the angry red ones, which are super resistant and hard to kill. And so now there are all of these super resistant ones, and now it's super hard for this antibiotic to kill it. And I will have to dose really quickly to try to get rid of all of these. And sometimes it won't even happen and it will persist in the body, these bacteria. And then you could potentially spread this super resistant bacteria to other people. So you can see how hard it is to kill these because you just don't want to die, but eventually we got it back to normal. Okay, so the sooner that you give a antibiotic, the better, because you can see how much more quickly the bacteria are destroyed right away. And if I want to fill them with all red ones, I've got to just dose basically once or even twice and then just stop the antibiotics. So a lot of people, when they get sick, they take the antibiotics maybe for a few days and then they say to themselves, oh, I feel good. I don't need to finish the dose. But this is what's happening in your body when you're not finishing the dose. Yeah, you've killed some of the bacteria, but the ones that happen to have resistance that just randomly occurred are now going to survive in your body. And the next time that the doctor gives you antibiotics, it's going to be harder to kill and get rid of the infection that's happening in your body. So a lot of people, after they are on a round of antibiotics, they'll take what's called probiotics, which are basically just good bacteria to help replenish your body with the good bacteria that you might have killed with the antibiotics. Okay. So going to our activity here, we wrote 2 things that we learned about bacteria from that reading. If you need to rewind, you can. You can either take a snapshot when the red bacteria start to appear, or just explain what's happening, that there's a random mutation happening that's making these red tone bacteria appear. And at the end, we tried to fill the screen with angry bacteria, explain how you did this and how it relates to antibiotic resistance in real life. So talk about the fact that you need to finish your dose and you need to make sure you're taking the antibiotic on time, that like the doctor says. And then we are going to try number 5, which is we're going to run the game for 1 minute without dosing antibiotics at all. So in order to do that, you're going to have to click menu one more time to start here and just keep going basically again. And we're not going to dose for 1 minute here. We're going to see what happens. So you can see this time, there's still no mutation occurring. Remember, mutations are super random. It's not like the bacteria wants to mutate. It's just a random change that will occur. Oh, I apologize. That's not, didn't give us the right thing. Here we go. Sorry, we're going to let this run for 1 minute. Just waiting. And you should see the numbers of certain ones to increase and certain ones to decrease. Now remember, we haven't exposed them to any antibiotics yet, so the ones that are more resistant don't necessarily, they don't like know that they're resistant to the bacteria, and they haven't been exposed and had a chance to survive necessarily better than the other ones. Okay, now if you can take a screenshot, it would be easier to kind of analyze, since they change so quickly, the number of the different ones that you have. But if you can't, it's okay. Try to just give a brief overview of what you see happening here. Do you think that the numbers of blue are equal to the number of really angry red ones and the slightly brownish red ones as well? What would you say? Okay. Then we're going to move on. And this time we're going to run the same trial, but this time we're going to dose antibiotics at 15 seconds, 30 seconds, and then 45 seconds. So you are going to need to have a timer on your phone in order to do this. And again, you can take a snapshot, or you can just write down what you see happening. So I'm going to put my stopwatch on, and again, 15, 30, and 45 seconds is when we're going to dose. Okay. Start. And again, at 15 seconds, we're going to dose. So that would be now. Now I'm going to do it at 30 seconds. Now. And at 45. is now. And I'm just going to wait the full 60 seconds to explain what now I see compared to when we didn't give any antibiotics at all. So right now is 60 seconds. So if you look at this quickly or take a screenshot, you can see that the majority are very angry red ones, resistant ones, and there are very few normal bacteria because you have killed off the really easy ones with the antibiotics, and the red ones resisted and reproduced and passed those on to their children. So you're going to compare your two descriptions. So the one in number 6 that you just saw, and then compare that to what you saw in number 5 when you didn't dose any antibiotics at all. So kind of compare the two and the numbers that you saw in either one. Then you are going to predict what would happen if you dosed every 10 seconds. And you're going to say whether you think there's going to be more of the really resistant angry red ones or more of the blue ones, or will it be an equal amount if you dose every 10 seconds? What's going to happen there? So you're going to run that trial and you're going to dose every 10 seconds. And again, you're either going to take a snapshot or write down what you saw at the end of that 60 seconds. Okay, so I'm going to reset my timer, and I'm going to reset here by going to menu. And again, you just have to click through, unfortunately. Isn't it letting me go? Here we go. Next appears. Okay, so every 10 seconds we're going to dose. Ready? Go. So ready? 10 seconds. And now. Okay, so now at 20 seconds, 10 seconds later. And now. And now. And now. Now. And last one before 60 seconds is over is now. So again, here we see very similar results to when we just dosed every 15 seconds. We have a lot of these angry bacteria, even more so than the last time. So you're going to compare what you just saw to your prediction. So AKA what you wrote in number 8 and number 9, you're going to compare the prediction to the outcome. And again, you can keep playing this and try to adjust. The number 11 is saying, what variable would you adjust in the simulation to have the most success in avoiding antibiotic resistance? So what maybe would you change to actually kill more of the bacteria or to even avoid antibiotic resistance? So again, if you had a very strong antibiotic, that would help because it would kill them all. Or like we saw in the beginning, if we right away click dose before that mutation occurs and dose very quickly, you will see that you can kill them easily. So let me just go back there again. I'm just have to wait. Come on. Should be an easier way to restart. So again, if I dose right away and dose quickly, I can right away get rid of the bacteria pretty fast. Okay, again, we'll wait a tiny bit longer this time and we'll see that if I dose quickly, I can kill them right away. So we don't want to wait too long in between to dose them. Now this is kind of a overreaction of showing how quickly they reproduce because they're not going to reproduce every 5 seconds or literally at every like 2 seconds. It's going to happen more slowly in your body. So usually the doctor will prescribe it to you every 12 hours, but you have to make sure that you take it every 12 hours, because if you wait, whatever it is, 48 hours by accident, then you are giving the bacteria the chance to have occurred a random mutation that will make it resistant. And then the next time you take that dose, it will be harder for you to kill that bacteria. So I hope that helped and made sense. And if you need help, just reach out to me. Thanks.